only 2,841,788 was, let's assume, done 3 years before. So, Governor, you need to ensure, or the people who did the reporting through financial statement, that it is not correct. The only time that was over 3 years when you are not in office was 2.8 million. But over 94% of 94 million was done under your tenure. So that will be my question number one. Question number two, which is simple: who authorized this borrowing? If you answer that, the matter rests there. Who authorized? We want to see.
I think for the benefit of time, those two questions have been asked. Who authorized? They have admitted there was no authorization, unless you have made up another story. And if your story changes, mtakula kiapo. They have already said there was no approval. I mean, this is black and white.
And Chair, that is theft.
Yeah, that is what it is.
But on the matter of State House, no one wants to reallocate money to State House from agriculture. I wondered, you know, Sifuna might go and talk about it in Thika on Sunday. So you need to be careful. You can pick it from the committee.
Oh, okay, let's leave that. But I was just using that to demonstrate how obscene it would sound if the national government would reallocate money meant for fertilizer to arbitrarily to do what? To empowerment. Because you have been in parliament and you know what the role of supplementary is. You cannot be doing things beyond what the law prescribes. Governor, for me, there's one thing that I'm happy about, that today we are agreeing that we need to look at the substantive matters. The only part that I'm still worried about is that you're not expressing outrage at the offenses being committed by your officers. You are not outraged. We want other people to fix the problem, ESCC to fix the problem, ISPAC to fix the problem. Ultimately, as a CEO, you must take responsibility. Now, the facts have been established. They are borrowing from deposits without approval. We shall call it theft, reallocation, whatever it is. There are consequences in law. Members, is there any other matter that you want to raise on this beyond what has been established?
Perhaps, Governor, I think it's important that we get a commitment from you on what strategy, now that the law has been breached, but that money still must be paid because contractors will come. What is your plan to repay that money back to the deposits account so that contractors can get their pay when the liability period lapses? What is the plan?
From my understanding, we've already budgeted some of it, but Senator, I think the accountant said something about our liquidity in terms of the deposits account. As a county, we are allowed to borrow through the law. We have not had a problem in the deposits account. But I want to give you an assurance that even with that liquidity in the deposit account, now that we owe the deposit account this much, I'll make sure that some is budgeted this year and some will be budgeted in the next year. It is very hard for a county like Samburu to take out 94 million in 1 year. That's our entire bursary program. So since you've already borrowed and borrowing is allowed, we will pay some this year, some next year, and I want to ask my officers to note that, so that we go back to zero, then we start borrowing maybe again, because it's allowed.
No, that cannot, Governor, we cannot accept that as a committee. We cannot advise you to do that. If you are borrowing, it must go through the procedures prescribed in law, but those procedures must mean the assembly must be involved. But there is a specific reason why deposits and retentions account is established. It is to ring-fence the resources. You cannot tell us that you'll continue doing the bad habits because there's a window that is available to you. That cannot be the advice from the Senate. Finally, Senator.
Chair, finally, Governor, when you have referred us to Annexure 2, my expectation would be that Annexure 2, because I've heard you making reference to budget. Do you have any extract of budget so that this committee can satisfy itself that you have actually budgeted to refund this money? I was expecting something like, what do they call that thing with the pending bills?
A payment plan?
Payment plan or schedule. Like you should be able to satisfy us that you will be clearing this amount in the next.
Budgeting, on the budgeting, our budget at the moment is still going through public participation, so it's not a budget. It will go to the
So
assembly.
there
But
is no-
Can I finish? Even in the draft budget of today, we have 30 million budgeted to pay this.
So you have an extract of any of that because
That
we are
draft budget.
committee of records. An extract.
Will it be unofficial to place something that's still going through public?
So you just want us to take your word. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, not just my word. We'll pass a budget at the end of this month. I can send you the real budget because now we just have a draft budget with 32 million to pay this part of this loan.
I think that's mitigation. Let's deal with the legality. That is where we shall give very strong recommendations on the matter. But I think this practice must stop, and how I wish the Assembly was here so that they can understand that the executive is usurping their role in budgeting and reallocation of budgets. Now, looking at the time, we will skip a few of the other issues and go straight to the query on medical insurance. If there will be substantive issues that we'll not be able to deal with today, I think the mood of this meeting indicates that we might need to have another sitting, because we can clearly see that there was some lack of coordination and preparation on the part of the entity. Finance officers coming to the Senate without financial statements, I think that tells a story of unpreparedness. Auditor General?
Maybe before you go to that one, I think it should really be clear what we expect, and I think the governor needs to give us his ears, because he's saying that he will borrow because it is allowed. Borrowing is allowed from different votes. But I think, Governor, you should regularize in a supplementary budget within the same financial year, not for regularizing in other financial years. So if you borrow, make sure that you regularize through a supplementary budget in the same financial year.
Yeah, I think that has been said. We have agreed that everything must be done in accordance with the law, and the governor has no other option but to comply with the law. It is an offense under the Act, it is an offense under regulations, and we shall also be recommending action to be taken in line with the offenses defined in the Act. So let's not reopen it, because we have established the facts, we have established there was an illegality. The governor has tried to explain the mitigation, but we will pronounce ourselves on the illegality. Medical insurance, Auditor General, please read your findings.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Medical insurance. The statement of financial performance and obtained to the financial statements reflect use of goods and services totaling Kenya shillings 1,782,103,252, which includes insurance cost of Kenya shillings 23,292,664, meant for various insurance covers. Further, Note 30A to the financial statements reflects prepayments on medical insurance of Kenya shillings 137,771,033. However, the medical insurance contracts cover payments for the previous financial year, the details of the persons covered under the scheme, details of payments made to Social Health Authority in respect of medical cover were not provided for audit review. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of Kenya shillings 23,292,664 on insurance could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, you may respond.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I wish to clarify the two medical insurance costs reported in the financial year is as follows. Kenya shillings 137, 771, 033 relates to annual staff medical cover with Scotland insurance brokers, as provided in Annex Chair 7, is the insurance contract for staff medical scheme with Scotland brokers and payroll by product to support payment made to SHA.
So your Auditor General, 137 million, does that relate to SHA?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The 137 million is not relating to SHA. It is relating to the Scoreline insurance brokers, payment done to the Scoreline insurance brokers. The agreement has been submitted to us. It was signed on 24th of June 2025, while the one that has not been submitted to us is the one on Kenya shillings 23,292,664. Thank you, Chair.
Now, let's be clear, because your finding is confusing. Scoreline is a broker, and who's the underwriter? Who's the underwriter on that medical scheme? It's your question, Governor.
Britam are the insurers.
It is Britam.
Yes.
So what's the reference to SHA here? How does SHA come in here, in this query?
They are querying the 23 million. They wanted us to show the byproduct.
Auditor General, have you looked at Annex 7? Because you can't have a policy document without the details of persons covered and the details of the limits.
Yes, Chair. What we have is the extract of the contract agreement for the provision of medical insurance cover by the broker. So what we don't have only is the listing of all the staff. But when you read through the
Auditor General. Yes. 137 million has been spent by Samburu. Can you give us assurance that 137 million...
Be the full document, Honorable Governor. This is 7 pages. I've seen contracts for Mandazi that are longer than this.
I think, thank you, Chair, through the Chair. I think the question was the 23 by product. The 137 was to provide evidence that actually there was a contract between us and the insurer. So now the question, I think, was on the 23 million.
So for 137 million,
yes.
How many people are you covering?
3,400 staff.
Is it there in the contract or whatever you have attached?
I mean,
this is why we'll put you on oath, because you're providing very material information that is not in the records before us.
Yeah, allow us to provide the byproduct